Hey friends, let's talk about the 1111 portal. So 1111 is one of the most well-known angel numbers. Usually if you're first having your spiritual awakening, you will see 1111. And if you think of the number 1, it's new beginnings, right? So the number 0 is like the void, where it's like nothingness, but anything can also come from it, right? Sort of like its own portal. And last month was the 1010 portal, 10, right? And so that was things coming to a completion. Just before that, 999 portal, right? 99 portal, that was things coming to near ending, nearing completion, whatever area of your life you feel like this resonates. And 1111 is the new beginning. The new beginning usually comes with some kind of big revelation, doing something different, and that's why it's one of the most well-known spiritual numbers and why you usually see it when you're having a spiritual awakening. Number 1 is that new beginning, and of course the more digits are at the end of it, the more amplified that it is. Even like 1110 is basically 111. That's still powerful too, but 1111, it's like quadruple the power, right? It's so cool. 1111, it can feel like an intense time. There can be a lot of uh, energy built up within you, depending on where you are in your spiritual journey. If you're spiritually awakening for the first time, um, honestly, it can just feel like you're really going into a whole new world. And I mean, even if you're not first spiritually awakening, it can feel like you're going into a whole new world. But I feel like it's you're knowing what to expect in a way energetically. It's like you're like, oh, okay, another spiritual awakening kind of situation. But you can think of one as like a doorway, right? If there's two ones, right? 11. It's like a doorway, the arches of a doorway, right? And it's symbolizing this gateway that bridges the physical and the spiritual world together. So in your physical world, it's like your current timeline that you're in, the current life that you live, and then it's bridging that gap. The gateway is into a new reality that you haven't experienced yet, you haven't seen, but it already exists. In quantum physics, multiple timelines. Oh my gosh. In quantum physics, multiple timelines can coexist at the same time. So if multiple timelines can coexist at the same time, that means that it already is created, right? But that's also why you may want something too. If you think about it, if you think of a desire that you have, a goal or dream that you have, and you feel it like in your heart, right? You feel like this fire and like your belly and your solar plexus and your heart just feels like warm, or you just feel so called to something. And it lights up in your body. That timeline already exists. If you can want something, you can think about it, you can feel it within yourself emotionally and with sensations, it's a timeline that already exists. So this time for 1111 is a great time to, you would hear the word manifest a lot, right? But it's actually true. Since the energies are stronger at this time, it's a way for you to manifest that timeline that you desire to be in from the world that you already are in. It's bridging those worlds together. And when you shift realities, you're basically shifting your frequency. You're changing a frequency of yourself, your vibration that you're in. You could think of it sort of like tuning a radio channel from one station to another station. So if you live your life a certain way, your experiences are happening a certain way. Think of it as like, okay, you're on one channel on a radio station, and then you know that you say you're listening to, I don't know, Latin pop or something, and then you're like, I really want to listen to like rock right now or something. You know that channel exists, right? You're starting to feel the vibe of like wanting to get into that. You know what you're wanting to experience. So then all you have to do is turn that dial to that frequency of that channel, right? And you're like tuning to find it. And that's what shifting realities is like. Basically the creation of the unseen reality that hasn't happened yet. And I do this because it basically already has happened or is happening in the present moment in a different timeline. So it's just you just need to actually experience it in your 3D world. If there's anything I've learned this year, I'd say being able to know that you have the power to shift the frequency of how you want to feel. And it's not, of course, as easy as it may sound, but it's like just little by little, tuning the frequency. And how do you do that, right? How do you, when you're like searching for a channel, you test it out and you see how it is and if you're feeling the vibe of it. And it's just like that with our lives. You have to try something new, take risks and do something different, take a different path. And I feel like that's a lot of time that's how we honestly trap ourselves, by being afraid of the unknown, being afraid of experience something new. And so we do what we're used to, even if we're not actually happy with our current reality. Just remember, if you truly want something or desire something, it exists in some kind of timeline. That's how it's even able to come up into your mind. And we experience our realities through our thoughts. My reality could be completely different from your reality and how you think about your everyday life and how you go about just anything you do, right? So our reality truly is influenced by our thoughts. It's a very powerful concept because your thoughts carry a vibration, they carry a frequency. Not just your thoughts, but of course, like what you choose to say and the actions that you take. And so that's why when you're choosing that, you're turning that dial, right? Right now, we're at a time where so many of us are being asked to tune the frequency to what actually aligns to who we really are and who we are actually in our soul. You know, not what other people tell us to be, even what we are by titles or anything like that. It's like who we really are in our heart, what actually drives us. And you could be going through a really challenging time right now, and you're valid for feeling everything you need to feel about it. And then just know that too shall pass. Every single challenge shall pass, and every moment you have a challenge in your life, it's basically a gateway opportunity for you to do something different, and your body's communicating with you, letting you know, like, hey, something needs to change, something needs to be different. And you just have to notice, what is it saying to you? Like, what's going on in your environment, you know, with your challenges. It's up to you to really give meaning to it and to step into a new gateway, a new timeline of your reality. This all relates to our human collective right now because of just all the crazy things that are happening in the world right now. I can give a whole list. There's things going on in geography-wise, like weather-wise, like astrologically. There's so many things galactically, right? There's so many things happening right now, and it's all to provoke change. We don't have change without the chaos, and you know, it's the perfect timing with the 1111 portal, and we may feel like we're at a crossroads for some decisions. It may feel like we're choosing between two things, or maybe multiple things, or you're juggling multiple things, and we're definitely being asked to ground at this time and choose a frequency that allows us to be the desired version of self. We're being challenged to do that at this time. And what's happening currently for the collective is that there's two timelines. You probably have heard this if you've already been dived into your spiritual journey, or you've just been in, you know, and you've been on your spiritual awakened path for years, then you know that many people in the spiritual community are saying that our Earth right now it's like splitting timelines, and it's between two timelines. The new Earth, you probably have heard that, new Earth, and there's like the old Earth, our current life as we know it, Earth, right? And so with these timeline shifts that are happening on Earth right now, this timeline shift, it's not that necessarily you're gonna see a bunch of different things. Things could be happening, well, things are happening physically in our 3D world, but also the biggest changes are within the self, the metaphysical world, the internal world, emotionally, mentally, the things that we can't see. So these two timelines right now are merging into one, and what that's doing is helping to really eliminate duality being like light and dark, yin yang, the whole opposites factor, and instead of there being a resistance with two opposites, there's a oneness coming together. And that's what the most beautiful part is about spiritual awakening processes too, experiences, is that we will realize how much connected we are to everything around us, and all the good and the bad in our lives and just in the world, and it can be intense. It definitely can be so intense. But with this merging, it's meant to help like just release a resistance, because with resistance to what is already happening, what has already happened, there comes suffering. And basically the lack of getting rid of resistance allows there to be more peace and more positivity in our current timeline. So it's like these two timelines are merging into one, existing as one, accepting as one, and there's going to be more of a positive timeline that exists for those of us who are aligned. I would love to say all of us, but I feel like it's eventually not everyone at the same time. You know, it'll be eventually everyone, they shift to the timeline, because we are at the end of the day, we are all one. We're all part of that same source energy that has created us, whether you call it God, universe, spirit. Like, we are all that awareness, that level of awareness that experiences itself in the human form. We're all that one awareness, and we all connect through that. And what I'm saying could be totally confusing to someone right now, but if you are just starting on your spiritual awakening journey, then this is a concept that you will come back to realization of over and over and over again. So you can be confused now, and that's totally okay too. And don't worry, like you will understand it, because we're all meant to, at the end of the day, come to that realization over and over and over again in this 3D life. We are the universe re-experiencing itself in human form in various different reflections. So I think that's like the number one key spiritual awakening realization. And you'll feel all this openness in your heart. You'll feel this warmth, this love for everything and all that there is, and knowing that there's a reason for things, and that it's just meant to come back to a state of oneness and understanding and pure love. And if you're at rock bottom in your life right now and you feel like you're at rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go from rock bottom but up. So life is that constant wave, and know that it too shall pass. It won't be forever, and you'll learn how to ride the waves much easier. And I feel like this specific 11/11 portal is going to allow for all of us to step into the new year, which is the year of the horse in Chinese zodiac. That is the year of strength, freedom. Most of all, you think of a horse, they're like free, right? When they're like running. Strength, freedom, sovereignty, and beauty. This beauty of the inner world, the beauty of our soul, being free and being authentic, being authentically ourselves. So if this resonated with you, I hope it did, please like the video, comment down below. Feel free to share any of your own experiences, because you never know who you can end up inspiring or helping on their journey. You can help them not feel so alone. And if you need to reach out to anyone, I got you. Feel free to message me. I would love to hear your story. I would love to give you any kind of insight as well. I've lived quite a spectrum of a life, but know that you got this. You are a divine being living a human experience. I'm gonna say that again. You are a divine being living a human experience. Remember that. Not a human being having spiritual experiences. You are divine first and foremost, and you're just gonna continue to realize how amazing you are on your journey. Of course, expect to tap into this energy, of course, November 11th, that's 11/11, but also November 29th, because 2 + 9 is also 11, so that's another 11/11 portal day. At the end of the month, maybe some things will come into a final realization, or some kind of situations will come to a full, I wouldn't say close, but more like new beginnings. Some situations may come to a full beginning. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video tonight, or whenever you're watching it. You are divine, you are loved. Peace and one love. Bye.